Hey guys, Panzer Dragon here, aka Luigi Dragon, a challenger player in NA. And recently, in the latest patch, there has been some nerfs to some mid laners. And also, I've never done a tier list for mid laners, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So at number 5, we do have Lulu. Despite some big nerfs, I still actually think she's actually pretty good. Her utility's still there, her zoning potential's still there. It's just her damage that really got nerfed. But she still does have that great mobility with her W, and still does carry that polymorph. And Lulu still does carry that early game presence, as she'll still be maxing out Glitter Lance, she'll still be as annoying as ever, and again, most matchups she goes into are pretty good, so she's basically a safe pick. And as always, she's always very hard to kill in lane, as she does have a movement speed buff, a shield, and of course her ultimate. As a jungler, I feel it's almost impossible to kill Lulu when she's at full HP or even half HP, as we'll need our mid laner to poke him down before I can kill her. Lulu's still pretty hard to catch, as she does have her Whimsy and Glitter Lance to kite people, and I do feel like her teamfight presence is still there, just a little less burst is coming from her. So some cons with Lulu is that she can no longer do double Glitter Lance with the shield. What I mean by this is that before the nerf she could always use picks on someone, and with like 20% CDR you could always do double Glitter Lance on someone, and you just really couldn't get away from that. But they did nerf how long picks stayed on you, so you can't do that anymore. And the damage by her E did get nerfed a bit. At max level it used to be 280, but now they reduced that to 200, although the AP ratio is still there. Alright, at number 4 we do have LeBron. So LeBron is actually very mobile with her double distortion, and of course her W being on a low cooldown, so of course she can get from place to place. She does carry lots of map presence with her, as she does bring a lot of kill potential with her, and say she's in enemy fog of war around a certain area, you walk into that area, and surprise, she jumps at you, one-shots you, and just runs off with a kill just like that. And of course in lane, she can zone out her laner from CSing, since the enemy laner knows that she does have kill potential on him just by one combo. And of course the kill potential rises if the jungler is around. And sometimes, let's say it's a Ziggs, she can zone out a Ziggs, and the Ziggs will probably be forced to CS with his Q. I've also seen Nidalee's farm with their Q because they're so scared of LeBlanc. So some cons of LeBlanc is that she does have a really high skill cap again, as knowing which combos to use in certain situations is crucial. And LeBron is bad at teamfighting and sieging because she has to find that person to one-shot, and if she can't find it, she's forced to use the burst on the tank and to peel for her AD carry. Like LeBron's strength is to find picks, 1v1s, and just to pick up kills everywhere. And also LeBron does have a really bad late game because people are starting to survive her burst, people are buying Banshee's Veil, and all she really has is burst damage, and of course her teamfight presence is really low, and late game this is probably where people do 5v5s the most. So at number 3 we do have Ziggs. Ziggs has gone through several nerfs, but he's still good. Like say if you can zone him or camp him, he's still going to be useful, as you've seen those Ziggs who've gone 0 and 3 but still have 200 CS at 20 minutes, so this does make him a consistent safe pick. And he can just wave clear and stall the game for a long time, and when he wants a siege he can poke the enemy, zone the enemy with the minefield, and his passive does do extra damage against the turrets. In teamfights he actually does a lot of damage, as his Q can keep poking an enemy, his E can just zone an enemy or the enemy ends up taking a lot of damage, and of course his ultimate, which just does AoE damage and as a global, just does a huge burst on the enemy team. So some cons are is that he's vulnerable to hard engages on him. So say if Vi does ultimate the Ziggs, he's going to be locked down, people are going to kill him, and he's going to be bursted down. But of course good positioning, Zhonya's does counter that. And another con is that he does have all skill shots, although most of his spells are really easy to hit. So at number 2 we do have Nidalee. So I find Nidalee really strong in solo queue because her siege potential is really high. When she gets blue off and she gets the call to siege towers, the enemy team will have a bad time. As any poke lash at her team, she can just heal up, and of course when spear landed on a squishy, the enemy team might want to give up the tower or not want a team fight, since if they did start the team fight they are at a disadvantage. Of course you have to tell your team to play the disengage comp, where you just keep disengaging and kiting the enemy. She's also very good at picking kills with Cougar, as the Cougar form does give her lots of mobility, a lot of burst damage, and let's say you're a carry with no escapes or CC, she'll probably be chasing you forever and can hunt you down. This also goes the other way, where if you try and chase her, she's really hard to chase, as she does have short dash every 2 seconds. She's also very good late game, as her heals are really OP, and her spears do over 1000 damage, and is also on a really low cooldown. So some cons of Nidalee is that she does actually have a really high skill cap. It's not her human form that has a high skill cap, it's her Cougar form, like hopping over walls, or the knowledge of when you can go into Cougar form, and when you can go in a team fight where you won't die if you go in, and teams where they can hard engage and pick someone off, so your sieging basically stops, as you'll be at a one-man disadvantage. And a big flaw is uncoordinated teams where they don't let you siege, or games where they don't know how to disengage, or people hard engage before you poke the enemy down. She also has no really map presence until level 6, and is really vulnerable to ganks, as she doesn't really have any escapes. And at number 1, we do have Kale. So in a recent patch, they did nerf Kale's Q and buffed her W, and everyone looked at it as a nerf, but what she actually gained was the Lulu W speed buff and an increased halo ratio. This makes her more mobile around the map, can kite harder in team fights, and of course sustain herself in a push. And with the nerf Q, all you have to do is do another auto attack, and you'll be doing the 1.0 AP ratio on Kale's Q. So what does Kale bring to a team fight? She does bring a game-changing ultimate, and let's say the enemy team blows all their stuff onto an ally, she can just use that ultimate, and the enemy team has no cooldowns up, and so your team should have the upper advantage on the team fight. Kale's sustain damage and burst damage is really high, as her Q does do pretty good burst damage, while her E does a lot of sustained damage. And if the game ever hits late game, Kale does become a huge threat in team fights. If you've ever seen a Kale do a Q plus E combo into a squishy, you know what I'm talking about. That shit hurts. And Kale's damage is basically an 80k with full build, except it is magic damage. And some cons of Kale is that her ultimate usage in a teamfight could be crucial. As again, like I said, it could be game changing, so putting it on the right target at the right time is of course crucial. And another con of Kale is that she does not have any poke into her kit. But that's fine, she's already strong enough without poke. Hey, thank you for watching. I am Luigi Dragon, aka Panzer Dragon. This is my tier list on who I think the top 5 mids are. Check out my other tier lists that I've made, and I will see you guys next time.